Hello everybody and welcome to Every Movie Ever. I'm your host Eric and this is the show where we're reviewing every movie ever made, starting today with Mona Lisa Smile, a movie that I had never seen before. This one's from mid-90s, Julia Roberts. A Julia Roberts vehicle where Julia Roberts comes to teach at a smaller sized female university. She's come to teach like art history, and the essential setup is that it's a fuddy-duddy, stuck in the past old college that is largely dedicated to giving women a college education in how to be wives, and she shows up and says, hey, it doesn't need to be all about that, and also maybe our traditional ideas of art and what is great art need to be challenged, and she starts introducing the students to things like Jackson Pollock and, you know, different modern arts. First off, as far as the movie goes, talent-wise, you couldn't do any better. This is a real assemblage of mid-90s female talent. Not only do you have Julia Roberts headlining with all of her terrific charisma and star power, you've got future, you've got then current but talent who only blossomed into greater talents, like Maggie Gyllenhaal is in this movie. You also have Julia Stiles in the movie and Kirsten Dunst, which throws me for a loop because I always kind of thought that they were the same person, but that just shows what I know. Listen, and they are all fantastic in it. There are some others, male actors in this that would go on to bigger stuff too. Topher Grace is in this movie. Dominic West is in this movie. Very well cast film, and everyone's doing very good. Now, I love what this movie has to say about art. You know, obviously I'm doing a show where we're watching every movie ever made, and part of why I wanted to do that and what I love about movies is that, to me, all movies deserve to be on an equal footing. I remember when I was in college and going to film school that there was this idea that some movies are just intrinsically better than other movies. That independent art house fare, that's good, and, you know, big budget studio tentpole, that is a bad movie. But I've never felt that way. I feel like every movie, you know, with some exception, but generally speaking, every movie has an equal opportunity to be great, right? And, you know, there's all kinds of factors that go into that, but the pedigree of it is not as important as I think a lot of people make it out to be. You can make a Spider-Man movie that's terrific, and you can make an independent movie that ain't. And that's how it goes. And it's the same with art. To me, a comic book cover, a really great comic book cover, is just as great a piece of art as something hanging in the Guggenheim. That's just how I feel, and I appreciate that this movie approaches things in a similar manner. That it understands that art is subjective and that, you know, all art has a chance at being great art. Unfortunately, that message does occasionally get lost. The storyline, whether it's talking about art or it's talking about these young women and their futures, occasionally gets muddled and lost. The movie tends to kind of wander down some corridors that it never quite fully fulfills. In particular, it gives sort of short shrift at times to Julia Roberts' character, of all people, and puts her in confusing situations, in particular in her relationship with Dominic West. And I would say the same thing with Julia Stiles' character, where the movie seems to be driving toward one point with her and then sort of takes a right-hand turn to make a different point. Still, it's a very enjoyable movie to watch with some solid performances, some terrific talent, and something to say. Mona Lisa Smile, 3.5 stars.